a culture here, when you're married, they're expecting you to have a kid. Still doesn't know that Adele told me that James doesn't want to have a kid.
You know what though? I wasn't even aware, and I don't know why this was went over my head, but like I didn't realize that James didn't know that Meitalia knows that he doesn't want kids, or at least that he's unsure about it. But this is the problem though. The fact that she knows this information, but she hasn't addressed it with him, but she still decided to go back to Indonesia with James, knowing full well that her parents expect her to bring kids to this world. You would think that before going back to Indonesia and then saying to him, hey, we should go back together and we should live there, you would think she'd be like, okay, cool, before I do that, I need to have a conversation with him about kids first, because there would be no point of going back to Indonesia together as a couple, okay, if we are not going to be having children, because my parents aren't going to be happy about that. And I need a man that's going to be able to make me pregnant so I can have children. You know what I mean? Now, of course, the situation would be very different if she didn't want to have kids and she was willing to upset her family. But we know from her energy that she would do anything possible to make sure that her family is happy, that her mother and father are, that she's in their good books. So the fact that she's now decided to go back to Indonesia with him, with James, with the hope that maybe he may change his mind, that's wild. Unless she's hoping that the pressures that he may suffer around the parents and the family, around kids, unless she's hoping that that pressure would then change his mind, either way, that's not healthy. Or unless she's thinking maybe it was an American thing, maybe being an American made him feel like he didn't want kids. So maybe bringing Indonesia will change his mind. Again, still not a good thing because the conversation hasn't been had. James is out here, but then there's the flip side, isn't it? There's the James side of things. He knows that currently he does not want kids, but yet he won't have that conversation with his wife. But also on top of that, he's also holding back to when he can have that conversation with not just his wife, but also the family. Both of these two are making poor choices here, which is why these two realistically at this moment in time, I would say that maybe they just shouldn't be together because their communication is appalling. And let's be real, this whole baby thing is a deal breaker, which is why they shouldn't be together if they can't even have a conversation about it now. It's okay to change our minds, you know, sometimes in life, but we have to communicate that.
Yes, I know James is gonna be a great dad. If James don't want to have a kid, it will break my family heart too.
You know, just because James is doing well with your nephews and whatnot, and just because you know that he'd be a great dad, it doesn't mean that he needs to be a dad, okay? I mean, I hear it all the time, but you'd be a great dad though. Doesn't mean that I want to be one though, you know? It's crazy because I feel like there's many people in this world who would be great parents but don't want kids, but then there's people in this world that have kids and, well, terrible parents, you know what I mean? It is kind of savage, but that's not including people that want to have kids. There's just people that just have kids because they're just reckless and then they abandon ship, you know what I mean? It's what a strange, horrible world that we live in, right? But either way though, the matter of the fact is though, here she's talking about she knows that her family will be disappointed if she's unable to bring kids to the family. So why are you doing this? You know the disappointment that's going to come. So why are you doing this? Now, she hasn't even tried to try and convince James because she won't even tell him that she knows, which I can understand that maybe she's waiting for him to tell her and to bring up the conversation. But she knows how important this thing is of having children. So waiting for James probably isn't something that she should be doing. Confronting him and asking him what the hell was going on is the best thing that she could do and she should have done before even coming back to Indonesia. Sometimes in life, some people just love to create problems for themselves. Some people in life, some people love to just sit in problems rather than actually try and solve them or fix them or anything like that. This is the world that we live in, ladies and gentlemen. But with that being said, let me know your thoughts and we can talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.